we are off in the right-hand corner of the map. In the blue color, playing as Gaia. His name is Kvoth. In the left-hand side of the map, in the red color, playing as Set. It is I Am Magic. Maiden, this is technically speaking a rematch. We already kind of know how good Magic is when he wants that revenge factor. Can Kvoth get over him? Will Magic be able to topple him? What are you reckoning at this point, seeing what's happening in this on this map?
Well, I think it kind of comes down to what you mentioned before the match actually started during our little intermission. Magic, a different set player, different set, etc. It really comes down to. I think it comes down to whether or not Kvoth is going to be able to do his thing, if that makes sense. You said that you saw the Woolulu tournament, Mista, etc. Against Kvoth, he wasn't able to do his thing, so to speak. So I think not just in this matchup of Gaia against Set, not just that. I mean just generally in the semifinal between these two. It really depends on whether or not Kvoth can kind of get into his comfort zone and do his thing. Magic displayed a beastly performance earlier today against Grass. Yes, I don't know if that really kind of plays with the mind of either player. I don't know, but regardless, it really comes down to just who's going to play their game.
Yeah, this is it's totally the thing with these sort of RTS games. You get into it and you're like, wow, it's a new RTS game. It's got new balance. It's got the same sort of similarities as Legacy, but it does play differently to some degree. But everyone has their play style, and even if a certain play style is the best, you're still going to see the player that likes to pressure. You're going to see the player who likes to raid. You're going to see the player who likes to play a macro game, macro. And I think we've seen that in a very, very real way. I mean, to jump around to some different player names, Chemo for one. He's literally playing the game how he played Legacy, but obviously playing around all the extra weird things. I mean, you've got Mista. He's playing this crazy pressure game pretty much every single game to give himself an advantage over his opponent and take the game into his own hands. You got Magic playing this fundamentally sound decision-making based game that is just like, it obviously works really, really well. So there's just so many different ways that this stuff can work. But as you say, the keys are play it the way you play, the way you know how to play, and the way that you're good at it. But Magic and Kvoth both going for this kind of early economic start here, Maiden. You've got double pickaxe, hand axe in for Kvoth already. Magic's got his own pickaxe. It's going to be a later advance. Temple coming down here. Looks like it's going to be like a 340, maybe a 345 here for Magic. Any thoughts on that?
Oh, you mean his age up?
Yeah.
So he just barely starting to age up.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Yeah, it's a little bit late. Although, what is Set going to do against Gaia? Are you going to go aggressive with some shifting sands action? Yeah, I don't know, possibly. He already used his vision down on the bottom side. The bottom side of, what's his bucket? Kvoth's base? So, what is he going to do otherwise? Take a town center? Is he going to go for a town center? I guess, what kind of pressure is the Gaia player going to put on Magic if he wants to go for a second town center? Something like that. He's going for a forward giraffe. So is this just straight barracks play and aggression in that manner?
This is incredibly aggressive, but it does, I guess, play into the fact that Gaia is a little bit slow to kick off. She has to advance, and then she has to build the buildings, and then she has to get units out. When you go through Oceanus, there's no early pressure you can put on. But yeah, I mean, this looks to me like it's just going to be maybe even forward barracks on this position and a classical fight.
And having said that, if he's able to get some delicious slingers going, he's up through toss, so he can get those electro bullet slingers going. Is that what he's going to be going for? If he does, and he's able to get the Wadgets, slingers, etc. going, eventually there's only one gold option for Kvoth, and that's very exposed. I know he's already got that sneaky gold mine that you keep mentioning.
Oh, he's literally every single game. What is this? This isn't okay. You can't keep getting away with this.
Somebody punish this man.
Why is he over here?
Anyway.
Why? What is this villager doing here? He's not allowed to be here. Okay, I'll let it slide.
He built his house there. What are you talking
right,
about?
he does
He's
it.
out in the boonies, but
That's right. Everybody
built
likes
his house
the
there, leave him
countryside.
alone.
It's fine.
the Terma also like giraffes, man. They're running right into the giraffes, trying to get some action on these. Yo, is that 3 Wadgets already? Are you kidding me?
It is 3 Wadgets already.
Okay.
Gets a snipe on
2
one of
Wadgets,
them.
rather.
Gets a snipe on one of them. Those hero Terma still very much alive and well as Magic went straight in onto some Axemen to kick the game off there. I'm pretty sure Kvoth is just going to go mass Terma here. I could be wrong. But when you're playing against the classical fight of Egypt, the easiest way to play around it as the Gaia player is you go mass Terma and you just continue to poke and poke and poke until the set player can't handle it anymore and then decides to run straight into your army and die. And now we see it starting. We started with the horse archers are in.
The horse archers, well, who would let the poking begin, baby?
Yep, there's a snipe. And you also have to remember behind this, it's not as if Kvoth is suffering while he's doing it. His economy is going through the roof. Now, he's already getting himself shaft mined.
Yeah. Okay, well, so the guy out in the boonies is going to be a very efficient guy, mining that mine. I like this. I like what Kvoth is doing. Just the poke and prod, poke and prod, poke and prod. Yeah. He's not able to actually kick him off the giraffes. Okay, fine. It is what it is. But he's, like you said, his eco's starting to just take off. Shaft mine's coming in. Does he have bows saw just yet? Not quite. But fine. You know, but still. Keep that eco going until he can get himself into a, I suppose, heroic army composition.
Yeah.
Although, but again, boy, with the exposed gold mine is like, how hard does he need to invest into the classical age here at Kvoth?
How hard is classical? I mean, at the moment, he's just. I think you just keep going until you feel like you can't get any more value, right? Like you just keep sniping units. You get yourself a second town center. You just. Your economy just keeps on popping off here. Magic is pushing really, really far forward, and every single time he moves forward here, it's making it an even longer retreat path, and Kvoth allows him to pull back there, but generally speaking, you can chase that army all the way back and just continue to get advantages pumping. And another thing here for those of you wanting to try this out for yourself, please don't do it to me because I'll get upset, but box formation is the magic here that Kvoth is using to bunch those Terma up just that little bit more, so you get that little bit more effectiveness. Let's make a little bit of an error there on the pathfinding of the Terma, but he gets through without losing anything, so no problems.
Speaking of a little bit more damage, man, we have wait, somebody got a relic. Who got a relic? Oh, maybe it was Kvoth. Okay, never mind.
He's got a lot.
Yeah, well, he got the Odin spear, however, so extra attack against what are they called? Was it?
The catapulties get bonus damage, right? Even though it's a spear.
There we go. Yeah,
mace,
catapulties.
they somehow are able to use that spear effectively. Right?
So I saw the notification come up. I thought it was for magic. It was on the left side of my screen. Anyway, we got Electrum bullets coming in. I'm at 9 minutes 10 seconds. How we doing time-wise?
Carnivora coming down onto the back there. The Terma are going to be able to clean up all of these units of magic. It's like Carnivora just tanks for days. The Terma trying to micro in as the hero Terma getting pulled back, and Kvoth perfectly micros back. And look at this from the Caladria. He's just, I don't know what he looks like. He's doing a little cheeky. You explain that. I don't know what that is, but he's going back and forth and doing the jukages. Try and hit me, the Caladria says.
He's just trolling. That's what he's doing. Just trolling. That's how confident Kvoth is against magic here.
Magic does get off a bit of a raid while this is all going on. Completely missed our apologies on that one. I think he picked off 1 or 2 citizens up on that side position. He's now into the main base, but this is why Kvoth is getting so much damage with these Terma over here. The mana on the side.
Done by Madge.
I mean, you can come back. Ooh, good little dodges onto those Terma before ballistics comes in. There's little cheeky bits of micro you can do. Obviously, you can still do it with ballistics in as well, but it does become a lot more challenging. as the simple next movement here, as Kvoth has got that damage done with his Terma, is to just move Heroic Age. He's going through Thea and then transition into Mass Contarius. Because unlike Anubis, the Thor Spearmen against if stuck in the classical age versus those Contarius, they don't do so well. You need to get the heavy Spearmen to actually kind of start trading decently. Though it does look like Magic is going to be able to go Heroic Age himself here.
Yeah, clicks up through Nephthys. We got medium slingers coming in. He researched electrum bullets a second ago. So, honestly, Boy, what's your opinion of? He's going through Nephthys, so he's not going to get slings of the sun, but he does have electrum bullets as we have a little raid going in. Oh, the poor miner that just wanted to be left alone gets sniped.
He got away with 600 gold in his pocket, but he has been thwarted.
He got punished for it. How do you think Contarius banned fair against, let's say, Slings of the Sun? I know he's going up through Nephthys, but still, Slings of the Sun and Electrum Bullet Slingers.
I think that the Contarius would be able to decimate them. They should not work.
Even with Spears mixed in?
I think you just... I mean... No, I think that you get... When the Dryads come through, they tank the Spears enough that the Contarius... You can basically just go Contarius Dryads. So, yeah, I'm not sure... I'm not sure Sekhmet is ever the angle. I feel like you need Nephthys, not necessarily for Ancestors, not for really Scorpion Man. Oops, Shifting Sands where? Shifting Sands over here onto the villagers as Kvoth is getting caught out here. This is the damage the Magic absolutely needs to get back into this game. 2 citizens going down. The Terma charging in. Ancestors getting dropped in onto this position as well. The Stymphalian Bird is through to snipe these units as they're spawning, however, as Magic's army looks like it is going to be getting cleaned up here, but Kvoth is going to actually retreat back, so just getting a little bit of the safety in. But to finish the point, I feel like you need Nebty as the set player to deal with the Dryads, deal with Stymphalian Birds, potentially to deal with Lampetes or Argus later. I feel like it's such an important technology. And also Spirit of Mart to make it cheaper.
Yeah, fair point. Honestly, I think that was really well handled by Kvoth. Ancestor has so much potential as a power spike. That was super well handled by Kvoth. I wonder if maybe Ancestor spawns so slowly these days. I feel like it's somebody could actually give the numbers, but it feels like they spawn super slowly compared to back in the old AOM days. So I wonder if that's something that Magic isn't quite used to. Ancestor would have been a little bit stronger in the old days, getting a lot more spawned right away, but he was able to pick them off one by one pretty quickly. Yeah, really well done.
It takes 13 seconds to spawn 13 minions. So I guess it's 1 every second.
Okay.
That's all I got for you. But yeah, it might be faster, it might be slower. Actually, I don't remember what it was on Legacy. Maybe Hagrid's somewhere, right? He can tell us. Hagrid!
It feels a lot slower. I don't know. It feels a lot slower.
Nonetheless, Maiden. The army that Magic has managed to construct here is looking pretty terrifying. You got those spearmen out. And the Contarius that Kvoth is building, he's got the Dryads. That's a big boost. He's got Contarius. Those aren't going to be that useful at this point, considering the army that Magic's got. And Kvoth, for whatever reason, has fallen insanely behind the 8 ball in this game.
Insanely behind, you think?
He's so far behind on military, right? That's the big problem. Like we talk about it a little bit, but Egyptian, maybe Gaia is a little bit different, but Atlanteans, if they fall into the late game and they don't make all of the damage happen, they don't find the victory, then it can just go very, very pear-shaped for them. There's a big fight starting on this position here. Don't think Kvoth has had the best positioning on this one. The Stymphalian Bird's getting targeted down incredibly quickly there by those priests, as the spears looking like they're going to be able to clean up all of the Contarius on the front here. The Scorpion Man doing crazy amounts of damage, and Kvoth needs to retreat back. Looking like Magic has managed to find himself a position that is very, very hard to crack here, Maiden.
That was great micro there, but I think that was bad positioning by Kvoth. Even the turmo were even getting picked off slowly by the slingers as well, a handful of slingers. So that was just you mentioned Magic, just the solid fundamentals carrying him, you know, kind of being characteristic of his gameplay. So that was a pretty simple fight for him. Speaking of fundamentals, and I just think it was bad positioning by Kvoth right there, man. He didn't have to move out there and try and take that fight and force something. He didn't need to. Maybe he's trying to take advantage of the fact that there's no ancestors anymore for Magic, at least not anytime soon. There's no more shifting sands, anything like that. Maybe he's trying to get some type of a timing there, but the positioning there just wasn't quite ideal, honestly. It was a bad fight, I think.
True. Well, I guess the big question right now for Kvoth and what he's going to try and figure out here is, what's the next move? We've always got to be worried about implode. Especially with an army that Magic has got. Like this army, if you catch that in the implode, they're all dead. It's like you go from 175 pop down to 50 pop. 54 pop. They're all dead. But he's a ways away from it. I don't think he doesn't have a palace, so he's not close.
Well, but still, you're like, this is the first time that you've been talking about implode. So if you've got to be prepping for implode when, you know, you're 10 minutes away from implode, that sounds like that needs a little bit of a nerf in all sincerity. If he's already got to be scared of implode, by all means, it is a big power spike for Atlantean, for I guess to the Atlantean gods. But still, man, there's a lot. I think there's a lot of potential before implode actually happens. Magic's going for a town center, so what do you do to counter implode aside from just splitting up your army when the time comes and trying to diversify, trying to just boom up heavily to replace the units that you're going to lose? What else do you do?
Yeah. What else? You just attack and you just try and force your opponent to stay in the heroic age, just like Magic is doing in the center of this fight. That's this Contarius Terma army that Kvoth has made is just not cracking these spearmen, which Magic has at the moment. Stymphalian Bird getting sniped down at the top here. Those priests are going to be able to out DPS the Caladria, and Kvoth is pushed back yet again.
And there's like a Gaia Eco is sick, but there's only so many fights that you can lose before, you know, you're going to give your opponent that much of an advantage to utilize. And Magic's feeling advantageous. His army's starting to poke. Speaking of poking, his army's starting to poke out across the map. He might stop this TC from going up. He's maybe lost one too many fights, man. He's still in this by all means, but still, got to take better fights.
Yeah, I think the unit here that Kvoth is missing, and it might sound strange to say this, but he's missing Mermillo. Like, I don't mind the Contarius. There's slingers there. The slingers do nothing to Mermillo at this stage in the game.
They do have Electrum Bullets. They don't have the Slings of the Sun. They do have Electrum Bullets. That's something. The little bit of divine damage. But no, that's interesting. He's just spamming the Contarius do give him mobility. So he's taking fights when maybe he should utilize the mobility rather than trying to use him as a meat shield. And then he is going for a raid up here in the farmland. Pretty decent, in my opinion, since Magic's on now two TCs.
That's a lot of dead villagers there. It's funny you mention that, because this is something that Kvoth, I think he does this really, really well when he's actually behind. And it always brings him back into the game. It makes you ask the question, what if he just does it just all the time? But Magic is
harass into oblivion.
Magic is also kind of like, he says, hey, hang on, if you're over there in my base, you're not in your main base. I'm going to take the fight here. Is he going to be able to win this? Now Kvoth is fighting on that Gaia Lush. He gets a little bit of HP back during the fight. And that front line isn't here. The spearmen have been brought back into the main base. They're not here at all. The slingers are going to get caught out of position. And this is the fight that Kvoth has been waiting for, the big amount of damage. We are seeing spearmen raids going around all on the map to get some citizen kills. But all of the units here for Magic have been eviscerated.
Wow, what a cleanup, man. That was a hard cleanup right there. Holy smokes.
Absolutely.
But hang on, boy, Magic does this so well. Whenever there's a huge fight happening, he always has a second little raiding party of spears. You see down there on the bottom side, those gold miners getting hit. He's sneaky, man.
He's forced a lot of idle time. The Contarius at this point, though, they have to you have to deal with these Kentarius raids with the Spearman ball. But Spearmen are a little bit slower. So long as Kvoth can split up his army well enough, he does not need to fight these Spearmen. He just needs to keep on hitting villages here. The magic is 3 town centers to Kvoth's 1. That's the big difference.
True. He still has a lot of eco though. 70 eco pop. I know he's still behind in total numbers and everything, but still, 1 TC. He's doing okay economically. He's spamming 1,000,000 Kentarius. He might be losing 1,000,000 Kentarius here as well, for crying out loud, against these straight spears. Well, why take this fight? It's Kentarius against spears. Why would you take this fight?
The Dryads are there. If you put the Dryads in front, then the Spearmen would target those first, and then you're just getting straight DPS, but that's not what happened. Magic took that fight really, really nicely, but it's kind of... I don't think it's looking closer. I think Magic is cleaning up. I think Kvoth has lost the plot with this attack here. I think he notices he's 1 town center versus 3 and feels like he's got to just get damage done. But in reality, he just needs to raid and use that mobility.
Wow. Those are some cheeky miners over there, boy. You see that run right past, or the spearman right past that gold mine up there? Oh boy.
It's close. He's like, what is he doing over there? I wonder.
The audacity of Kvoth and his gold mining is just ridiculous.
Magic has to...
And his hunting as well. Like he's got an elephant as well. Come on, man. And he's back into the fight, boy. Why is he just shredding these Kentarius against all the spears? Is it me? I don't get it. He's mixing in some Arcus, but not enough to counter all those spears. Why? I don't get it.
You have to be rotating army against this. Spearmen, they're good against cavalry units. That's literally this is a fast, semi-specialized infantry, mostly only good against cavalry.
Fundamentals, man. Fundamentals.
Read the
Magic and his
text.
silly fundamentals. This is a great raid, man. His spears picking off more citizens. Those things were just out in the boonies mining up gold up on that top side. So that 3 TCs compared to the 1 TC is that much more influential now that he's down at 70 total eco population and more spears in the actual farmland, boy. So it's getting worse and worse as time goes on, man.
Yeah, that main base is no safe place for those citizens as the spearmen are just like, get out of here. And Magic races to a very, very quick, well, I wouldn't say quick, it's 23 minutes and 5 seconds. A victory, nonetheless, in this semifinals.
That was a weird game, man. I think that Kvoth just kind of threw all of his horsies into the meat grinder, and Magic is just like, okay, sure. And he just boomed on top of that, kept grinding the horse meat, and ta-da! There we go.
Right, that's right. I mean, here's the thing, man. Like, sure, it's expensive to get yourself Murmillo or medium infantry, heavy infantry, Bite of the Shark. It's expensive. But if your opponent has only got spearmen, at some point you got to ask yourself the question, how am I going to kill those? Now, there is a second option. You don't have to switch over to Murmillo, but what you need to do is not fight those spearmen and find value elsewhere. We saw it happen a little bit with those raids from Kvoth. He got some really, really nice villager kills at like 18 minutes and 30 seconds in or something. If he continued to get those raids in, rather than engaging on that army, maybe he could go Mythic Age, then drop the implode, then the spearman numbers eviscerate, then he's able to push into the gold starve situation. But it just seems like he was trying to make something happen, and it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, indeed. I think your comment was so on point when Kvoth was raiding the farmers. He seems to do that when he's down from behind as a mechanism to get back into the game, and it seems to work pretty darn well for him. But I wonder if he would just bust that out a little bit more frequently instead of going for, again, just grinding those Kentarius against spears time and time again. I think a little bit more harassment in raiding and mobility. I mean, that's kind of part of the benefit of those Kentarius, man. Not just that they're a strong unit, especially when you get the Thea upgrades. The mobility, man, that's such a benefit for those fast units. So
Yeah, totally.
you live and learn, I guess. You live and learn.
That's right. We're going to be going into game number 2 here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be on Ghostly. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 in the left side of the map. Currently down 0-1 in this best of 5 matchup. Playing as Thor. His name is Kvoth. The other side of the map in the red color, playing as Kronos. His name is Magic. And he's building a manor. There we go, Maiden. He's building a manor. That does actually have some significance.
Whoa!
It has some significance, Maiden. Tell you what else we're seeing? Do you see a dwarven armory just yet?
Well, rather what we're not seeing.
That's
rather.
right. That's right.
Yeah. No armory. So can he pull off the really fast advance, though? It's one thing not to, oh, man. It's one thing to not use or not go for the dwarven armory build, but you actually got to pull off a 330. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's the build orders, but still. It's not super the easiest thing in the world either. And real quick, Boit.
Yeah.
Gold options. The gold option. There's boars that are very lurable into the town center for the Thor player. Plus, there's 2 gold options. So I think that all of the potential aggression is not going to be near as impactful or threatening compared to what we saw Kvoth do with earlier.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not going to be I don't think it's going to be an early forfeit here for Kvoth. I think he's going to be able to survive pretty much everything that Magic is going to throw at him in the early stages of the game. But I think you're absolutely on it when you say it's one thing to go for an advance time, but nailing the build order, it's not actually just getting that 330 advance in. It's dealing with the chaos that your economy is in while advancing to the classical age. It's dealing with the very the very limited amount of resources you've got while you're in the classical age, because you're not used to it. You're advancing 30 seconds faster. That's a huge amount of resources that you're not going to have. So, yeah, we're not going to see wait, does he not have a temple down? Yes, he does. Okay,
Top
down,
corner.
Temple down. He's gone 2 berserks, and it's going to be 4 SETI, and it's just going to be like a 4-minute advance time. Or just before 4 minutes, I guess. And his temple gets spotted. Never lucky.
I think that's... well, is that deconstruction a little bit early? I think he could have saved it. Just, I don't know, 10, 20 additional seconds and stopped a Hearser from coming out.
Yeah,
whatever.
That's the best way to do it. If you know exactly when it was built, you can time it. But I don't know if he saw it finish, or I don't know what he saw. But the temple's back up anyways. Two berserks. That's more than enough.
This is a nice advance for 2 berserks and such a good advance time. Bravo, man. He doesn't even build an additional ox cart to pull it off. Doesn't need to. He's got enough wood around there, plus the boars as well. And here come the Prometheans, man. So he gets knocked off of this one gold mine, but like I said, doesn't matter, dude, because he's got the gold mine on the backside as well. Plus he's got his dwarven mine god power as well.
Yeah, this is just such a defensible position. The question is, what's Magic going to do? And he's going for a Karaballista nice and early. He's pulling back into his main base. Another counter barrack's going to come up. And let me tell you about a composition here that it's a little bit scary facing as Norse. And it's not Mass Promethean, though Mass Promethean is always fun. Catapeltes Karaballista.
Okay.
What do you build?
As the Norse
As the Norse player.
Herdman.
Right? It's
I don't know.
scary composition. Because you can't build, you want to build raiding cavalry in there to take out the Ballista, but the catapulties are there to protect them.
Huh. Maybe you just go for Mass Hersier, try and bank up a ton of favor,
Yeah.
and just, you know, blast your face into a bunch of, you know, maces and Ballistae arrows until you can get some troll numbers out. I don't know. He's got gold options, plenty of gold options, and a good number of goats. Actually, Kvoth has a really good number of goats. 13 goats. That's wonderful. He's got a lot of options, honestly. That's so. Myth unit spam. You're gonna have to sacrifice units to get there, but
he's also grabbing some goats from the other side of the map with a troll, just like randomly just wandering across the map with a troll. Just match spot that. I mean, it went past his line of sight on the Oracle, but looks like he's moving up there. He's got the alluvial clay in.
Hey, nice. Here's the thing, though, boy. Like, at this point in time, what does magic do? Because, yeah, he can make a, you know, there's different unit compositions he can make. He can go for the Mass Prometheans. He's got 4 Oracles, which is going to give him, you know, decent favor income. He can take out this tower, pressure the gold mine. You know, there's a lot of options here, but it's still going to take a long time for Magic to finish off this game because there's so many goats and the Dwarven gold mine for Kvoth to use. To use. And so what does Magic do? Does he continue going aggressive and, you know, just kind of get does he go for town center, age up? What's the play here for on Magic's side of things? Because it seems like he's kind of missed an opportunity to do early damage.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely onto something, and I guess you've got to think about second gold mine situations, and I hate to say it, but maybe the answer here for Magic is to just Heroic Age, drop a Chaos somewhere random, hopefully get some kills, take a good fight, and then Mythic Age, and then nuke onto the second
Implode,
and call it a day. Like, I keep on bringing it up, but it's like, I don't know what else to say.
Boit's obsessed, everybody. Implode it. Just implode to victory.
The ghost building. You know.
Oh, that was sick.
That was really nice.
Sick. Well, but I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, we're teasing you about it, but seriously, where's the win condition here? I saw that Kvoth was starting to get his eco upgrade or his armory upgrades coming in. He's got copper shields right now, so his armory is up. He's going to slowly start getting copper armor also coming in, eventually as well. So he's going to have. I think the economy of Kronos probably better at this point in time. We'd have to look at the actual timeline, but. You know, eventually getting those extra dwarfs out, he can keep up with the economy, and he's also pre-queued Bragi as well. So
getting a heroic age before this gold mine expires means he gets an extra 3,000 gold. That's the huge thing. And the one thing that Magic is doing right now is he's now got 5 oracles out. They aren't all positioned perfectly with one oracle kind of just overlapping, but nonetheless, he's got 5 oracles out at this point, and he's got the Prometheans coming through, and I think it's just the one temple for now, as the favor income is, it's not quite enough, but you know, it is actually, he's currently floating. There we go. See the 2? When you see a 2 on anything, that means you're floating resources. You got to get that second temple out to spend it all.
Okay. Well, I want to see a 2 on the number of temples. That's what I want to see a 2 on, boy.
But man, this is heroic age coming in. There's no units here. There's a world right now that Magic can just kind of right click on the town center and just say good night. If he gets enough of these Prometheans out, Bragi is halfway in. He has to. He doesn't have the units out. Once he's got 6 Prometheans, not going to be enough.
Yeah, he needs to be going hard into those Promethean numbers in order to try and take out that town center. He's probably, again, Magic, a big player of an intuitive player, I guess you could say. Does he think? Do you think he presumes or theorizes? Ooh, that Bragi is coming in. He's got to think of something, be suspicious of something, because there's been no pressure on his economy, and he barely sees any military for Kvoth. So he's got to know something's up.
Yeah. Especially when Bragi comes in, there's nothing you can do because the dwarves could just go underneath the town center with the dwarven gold mine for a little bit now, right? There's not actually any point in just doing this movement because you get more gold. These dwarves are now at 1.46 gold per second, and they're safe.
So
now,
yeah. See, what does magic do?
Well, Maiden, he does have, obviously, in his kit, a very, very nice answer to flaming weapons in chaos.
Implode.
Implode is I mean, all right, I see what you did there.
No, chaos, absolutely, yeah.
So
But he's just barely did click up through
right.
a Hyperion, by the way. So it is coming in.
And I guess the thing for Kvoth to be worried about is he's only got 4 Hersa. And I say only, that's 4 heroes. That's actually... Never mind. Kvoth has got more than 4 heroes. Do you want to know why, Maiden?
What? Why?
Balder is clicked up. Well, pre-queued. He wants Balder. He wants heroes. Because he's going to have to deal with those Prometheans. And he's like, well, why would I build a Hersa when I can just all in my opponent and say goodnight? Go next. Okay, so yes, we haven't really, we have seen one really good, maybe 2 good Ragnaroks in specifically this tournament thus far that have won the game. But we've seen many failed Ragnaroks. But in this situation, this is the perfect situation for Ragnarok right now. You're up against a ton of myth units. Your opponent's got a really immobile army in those Kara Ballista that's just not going to be able to survive here. It's going to be tough.
You want to know the perfect counter to Ragnarok?
Yes, I do. What is it?
Implode.
It is. You're absolutely right. Implode is amazing at killing off everything.
If you didn't know, Boit, it is an excellent counter.
But Magic isn't reading this. He's not reading it at all. He just got.
Yeah.
He might see. Does he even see the hill fort? He doesn't see the hill fort just yet. So he's got no idea.
Dude, he's got to have some idea. Kvoth is still in his base, at least according to what Magic sees. Like, he doesn't... I don't think Magic has seen any, any town centers getting grabbed, or, like, no pressure on his own economy. Nothing like that. So, honestly, like, he's got to know, man. He's got to know, right?
I don't know if he has to know.
He has to know.
Like, Kvoth doesn't need to leave his base here until he hits full pop. Like, there's 2 options for Kvoth. There's full pop flaming weapons or Mythic Age, tier Mythic Age. When would Balder cross your mind if you're Magic right now? I guess in like 20 seconds it'll cross his mind because he's gonna see it.
Yeah. It's about to cross his mind hard.
Yeah. And
he still doesn't see the hill fort, man. Now he does.
Now he does. Deconstruction. He's going to try and push in, but it's too little, too late here. Rag is effectively through.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's see what he does. How's he going to react? Those Prometheans, those 50 Prometheans look a little silly in front of a Ragnarok, and there's the Ragnarok, man.
Yeah. He's got the shoot and scoot here. Okay, here's the play. Send the Promethean up to the top side of the map. You just see a cheeky little chaos getting dropped down. Promethean up to the top side of the map and then clean up the main base. Flaming weapons is down. This is the fight, Maiden. As the Fire Giants coming in to clean up those Carabalistas. The Promethean mean nothing in this fight. Magic now going to be retreating away. He's going to be losing all of those Carabalista in the main base. What can Magic do? He's got to get out all of those Mamillos at this point to try and deal with the crazy big army, which Kvoth's got. Magic, he's got to start spreading villagers out. He's still in the main base on gold. He's not moved on to a second gold mine now. We see some citizens moving up onto that other gold mine, but, you know, Kvoth is already going to be checking things out all over the place.
Unbelievable, dude. Is he going to go for the town center? Is he... I mean, the flaming weapons, there's only 7 seconds left in the flaming weapons, so... Yep. The Rag Heroes are scary, man. The Horde is scary, but can he hold on?
I
He's
don't know
going
if-
for the TC. Dude, he's trying to prevent the implode. He's trying to prevent the implode.
You can't go mythic age if you don't have a town center. And so
Yeah.
that's the town. Well, it's going to go down. The car balance from the back going to go down as well pretty quickly. The population for Kvoth seems to be holding relatively strong here. He's going to be able to start building dwarves out as well at this point, as some Murmillo are going to be coming back in to try and support behind all of this. The Promethean horde seems to have been taken out on the backside here. Magic, can he keep going is the big question. He's still got a lot of citizens here, but the army is gigantic for Kvoth still.
Dude, 130 military population compared to 8. Oh my god. I think it's actually going to work. It looks like it's actually going to work. Maybe Magic can just cockroach his way into something, but I don't know. I don't think so. What a game.
Yeah,
Dude, do you know how long it's been since we've seen a Ragnarok like this? Maybe it's just me. I've not seen Ragnaroks at all. I've seen like one in the recent S-tier tournaments myself in the games that I've casted. It's refreshing to see Ragnarok. I hate to say that, but it's actually refreshing.
I'll tell you the game. I believe it was Kvoth who did it versus Recon. And I believe it was versus Kronos as well. So it's the exact same match.
Oh, really? Brutal, man. Brutal. Magic hasn't given up just yet, dude. He's hanging in there. He's got, what, how many Carable is there? A couple at this point in time.
Man, he hasn't given up, but the villager differential at this point is slowly starting to go into the favor of a certain Kvothian Thor.
Yeah. Oh, man. Wow. And he's got, dude, he's chilling with his gold mines, and
well, what can we say
Kvoth
about these
takes
players? I mean, like, if nothing, it's entertaining, right?
wow. Right. I liked that game. I can't believe the audacity of Kvoth to do what he did, but you know what? The double gold mine really ended up, like, paying off for him. He still would have been fine to use his Dwarven Gold Mine later on, but the fact that he could do the switch back and forth on his starting 2 mines, I think that really mitigated what Magic could actually do.
It was everything. It was absolutely everything. If you couldn't mine gold, it would have been over. But we had to use his Dwarven Gold Mine in the Classical Age. So
yeah. Oh yeah. What a funny game, dude. What a funny game.
that was awesome.
Magic maybe could have. He could have maybe held on, man. He could have maybe held on, like spread out his units. I guess he didn't really have gold, however. That's probably why he ended up throwing in the towel. What a fun.
He lost. He went from 60 villages down to, or 60 population of villages down to 12. So that's
yeah.
I think you can safely throw in the towel when you're 0 town centers, 0 military population, and 12 civilian units. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2. That's now equalized the series. We're going to be going into game number 3 very, very shortly. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you go over and check out Maiden's channel as well. And we'll see you in the next game. Here we are, game number 3 in the left side of the map, playing as Poseidon. It's Kvoth in the right side of the map, playing as Loki. It's Magic. In the map's Marsh. I know this isn't your favorite map, Watering Hole. Is this your second favorite map? Because it's kind of like modeled off Watering Hole? Or am I by myself at the moment? Have we dropped out? Maiden!
Oh, sorry, double. I'm here. Sorry, double mute for the win, man. You got to be careful these days. Yes. Dude, Marsh is my second favorite map indeed. It's green. It looks like Marsh. It's got so much hunt. We love it. We also have a spy and some stolen pigs by our Loki player Magic here. Bravo. Dude, okay, so Mr. Theory Crafting,
Okay.
you were crafting some pretty hard theories in before the game started, right? Craft me this.
Okay.
2 TC. Okay, for the Poseidon player, for Kvoth here. 2 TCs. Because check out that TC just on the north side of his base.
Okay, of all the TCs that have ever TC'd in the land of Age mythology, I think this is your S triple plus TC. For those of you who don't know, TC means town center, and S tier means the best thing in the world. And when you give 3 pluses to it, it means literally the best town center that I've ever seen. That's okay. That's 2 water buffalo. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 water buffalo on the front. So 6. Plus there's a whole bunch of deer. Plus there's 2 gold mines and there's 2 forests there. Are you kidding me?
Right. Plus there's a gold mine even further up top. So, it's just chock full. It's a popular TC.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
goodness.
I can't do it. We can't watch. It's too disgusting. We can't watch it. I feel. I'm,
Is that what that noise was?
Yeah, that was that.
What
That's
was that
that
noise?
That was my. It was just. It's just too disgusting.
I agree. That was disgusting, dude.
Thank you.
Boyd's like stoked on that town. Triple.
It's not allowed
It's a
to
triple
happen.
plus town center.
You're not allowed to
It's
have
so beautiful.
This.
Yeah, this is not allowed. Admin re. This is not allowed. Dude, compare that with Magic's town center. Look at that. Wah wah. Look at that boring little guy with a couple of gazelles. No way.
He's got a forest. Come on, can't discredit the forest.
He's got a view of the river. Come on.
That's true. It adds a view of the. It's your seaside view is expensive. The real estate these days is through the roof. Come on. Okay, but let's get realistic right now. Is just because it's the best town center I've ever seen, can you go to town center, as we're seeing a stable already up here for Kvoth, can you go to town center as Poseidon versus Loki?
Dude, I think you can with how passive that Magic actually he advanced super fast. Oh, he advanced super fast, like 330. Magic isn't even up. He's walling up like crazy. If looking at how defensively Magic is playing, yes, he didn't necessarily know all of that, so not necessarily doing it blindly, not necessarily. But if he went for it, I think he probably could be okay.
Yeah, I think Kvoth actually misscouted and missed the back gold mine there, so he might think, yeah, it's pretty good with the hunt, but he doesn't have the whole kit and caboodle recognized with the back gold mine there. Magic gets his walls up. He's got a relic in his hand as well. Oh. How good when you're playing Norse does it feel to have Ankh of Ra? When you're like, man, it's so hard to get favor as Norse. I have to fight to get it. And you're like, yeah, get Ankh of Ra, and now you get 1 favor every 2 seconds. No, it's not. That's not what it is. It's 0.05 favor per second. It's half a monument.
0.5. Good stuff. So how many, and Boit, quick math, how many seconds before you generate 1 favor?
It would be 3 favor every minute.
It's good stuff. Hey, it's
right?
free.
Is that right?
That
was a guess. I actually didn't. I can't do that math. Is that right?
I don't know. I didn't try to do the math.
Okay,
I'm a writer,
fantastic.
dude.
Okay, great. My math is great. We've graduated.
Okay, that was. I mean, speaking of all that. Okay, so Kvoth is putting the. Let's jump into this game, right? Like, actually, Kvoth is putting on the pressure. He's got it landing over there. We saw a little skirmish. Not that big of a deal. It looks like all Magic wants to do is just make sure that he's protecting these water buffalo down here. So he's playing chill while he gets Hall of Thanes, which is coming in right now. Maybe in the not too distant future, he's going to go and try and poke and prod over on Kvoth's side. So Kvoth isn't, and he's taking the town center, Boit. He is spied.
It's spied. Magic knows what's happening.
Yeah.
He can decide everything here. And with this, he also spots, funnily enough, Magic spots the back gold mine, but Kvoth doesn't see it there. He might spot it a little bit later, but he doesn't. Kvoth still doesn't know this gold mine is here. Magic does. Kvoth doesn't. advantage.
How does he
Norsemen.
see that? Oh, because his berserker was there. His berserker was
No,
there earlier
just
on.
the spied villager.
Cross
He's just
here.
got more line of sight than.
Oh, that's right. Than the
Yeah.
actual villager.
Yeah. Now the Hersa raids.
Well, the centaur scouting.
They're gonna come through. Oh, Kvoth's got the house walls up already, so he's completely safe from that. Look at this building. I mean, look at the building placement. How good is this? A little bit of a house wall, temple, houses, everything is just looking beautiful there. It's not going to be easy to raid this Poseidon play in the slightest. But as Magic's got the map hacks with that spy, simple play here is, oh, you took a town center? No worries, I'll take a town center.
That is a decent town center as well. It doesn't quite have all the gold around it, but with all those boars right nearby, I think that Kvoth, after Magic takes the town center, he can continue to contain Kvoth in his base. You're right that house wall sick. It's a nicely constructed base. There's not a lot of inns, so to speak, to get in there and actually cause some damage. But I think that Magic can, after taking that, again, he can probably play the contained game to keep Kvoth inside of his base for the next little while, which would give Magic free reign over those boars right now and have a pretty sick eco to combat the posse.
Yeah.
Or water buffalo.
Totally. And I guess
Totally.
he's got... I'm trying to think... Is a turtling Poseidon player something you're scared of as Loki? Like, you get all of the economy going, you get all your buildings set up. The only thing you're really worried about is maybe Earthquake, I guess Bronze to counter your flaming weapons, or at least equalize on the flaming weapons. Magic wants a third town center.
Yeah. Cheeky. Greedy. I would say that it depends on the gold. The turtling Poseidon, it depends on the gold. Because Ceasefire is... Back in the day, yeah, Ceasefire can just nullify flaming weapons, but Ceasefire doesn't last as long anymore, and so it's not quite as scary. You still have several seconds of flaming weapons that you have to deal with on the Poseidon side of things. But I think this map is just so good, like with the goldmine positions, the water buffalo, everything that we've been talking about. It's just so good that, I mean, he can just do whatever he wants to. Kvoth can do whatever he wants to, regardless whether or not the Loki's afraid of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, basically.
Basically.
But I think the one thing to be scared of, if there's anything to be scared of, is Dionysus with Bronze pushing out and then just claiming the entirety of the map back. And a whole bunch of Hypaspis coming through to clean up all those Hersa. Right? That's it.
Yeah. I mean, he's got, he's got 3 military academies ready to bust through or bust out the Hypaspis, a couple archery ranges, so... I mean, like, it's not like Magic is over-investing into all of those, into Hersier. He has a good number of Hersier, by all means, but he does have time, once he sees Heroic Age come in, he does have time to do a little switcheroo. Does he have any longhouses? Dude, he's going straight eco and a handful of Hersier. He needs to be careful. Magic needs to be careful. The longer this game goes on, little engagement here.
Yeah,
Speaking of being careful.
You don't want to lose units when you've only got one Great Hall and one temple to produce units. This can go really, really pear-shaped really, really quickly.
Well, so, I mean, but speaking of the pushing out with Dionysus, with Bronze, everything that Magic has in the center, it's sick for the time being. All the boars, eco, the production, blah, blah, blah. But eventually you got to get building spam down and start getting those throwing active and whatnot out. Otherwise, you're going to be toast.
Yeah.
You're going to be toast by, or Bronze toast? And there he goes, longhouses.
There's something there, I'm sure. I'm sure you got something there. I can't get there either. But yeah, the one good thing about Norse is if you're going to give the Norse player lots of time, well, they've got many, many builders to put these buildings down. The one thing I say about Norse players is you should probably just have one unit outside of your army, like a berserk, just throwing down military buildings for the entirety of the game, just so that you can get yourself up to 20 military buildings, because oftentimes you just end up with 5 or 6 and you get stuck when they die and you just lose.
Especially Loki, you got the... Well, okay, so actually that's enough about buildings. We have maybe some serious action coming in. We got Broggy coming in as well, Boyd. I don't know if you caught that, but there's a whole lot of Hippospis going after all these Hersier there. Why is he taking this fight? Is this not insane? Okay, there's a troll, but is this not insane?
Yeah, you're not supposed to fight Herser versus a Pacifist. As it looks like...
What is it doing?
Kvoth managed to take that win in a big way. Heavy infantry also through here as well. So the Herser have to pull back, and I mean, he does keep the town center alive. The villagers are all sort of surviving as they're pulling back. But Kvoth's got everything he wants and more right now. Magic needs to get himself some like raiding cavalry or something out to deal with those Pacifist, because he doesn't have any front line for them. Sure, Throw and Axemen are great. They take out the Pacifist as good as anything else. But without a front line, the Pacifist suddenly can take out the Throwing Axemen and the Herser all by themselves, and there's Hippias there as well to take out the Throwing Axemen to boot. And there's a fortress coming down on the front. Kvoth is in his element right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that Magic was playing a little bit too greedy. He didn't find any damage economically against Kvoth, so Kvoth was just sitting on that sexy position. And now he is just flying into this game. So I think that the 3 TC play was too greedy, especially considering that he didn't do any eco damage to Kvoth.
Yeah, and now, I mean, he could just go here Mythic Age for that Earthquake and completely erase the Magic position. Or he can just go the safe option, just grab the 3rd town center, and then just continue to have this really, really strong Greek army. We do still have Flaming Weapons and Bronze on the table, as well as Ceasefire.
Honestly, I think I would probably go for just continue this push.
Yep.
Continue a little bit of a timing that he has right now. He's got, I mean, it looks like that's what he's doing. He's getting a 2nd Petrobolos out of his forward fortress. So it looks like he's just fully investing into heroic here, and trying to shred through these buildings. Boyd, are we going to see a Flaming Weapons here? That's a lot of Hearse here, but a lot of Hippospis.
We've got 2 temples, so a Flaming Weapons and a good fight means a lot of favor to come through and a lot more myth units to start spamming out. I'm a little bit on the sad side. We're not seeing mass trolls here, because that's another really, really good option against those 19% pierce armor Hippospis, but the battle balls are going to be just as strong in their own right. As all he's got to do is take down those heroes, which he does immediately. There's the bronze. There's got to be a Flaming Weapons coming through. Magic not chucking it in there just yet. He's just taking the fight as the battle ball is getting some good damage. Now the Flaming Weapons comes in, and there's the ceasefire. The villagers are coming through to grab the town center, and they manage to get it.
What a play. And he has enough villagers there to actually rush it up. Again, he only has 15 seconds left, so I believe the town center should go up. But hey, man, that ceasefire. Oh, dude, there's still 20 seconds of Flaming Weapons still left over. Is this a little bit of a blunder by Kvoth?
One thing you do get from the town center is a lot of militia when it dies. So it's not resources down the drain here, but Kvoth needs to be there. Otherwise, it is resources down the drain. They're going to die before they get any damage done.
That was resources down the drain, right?
Yeah, it's all down. It's all gone. 10 dead militia. Man, militia are strong.
Okay.
You can't be losing those. They're really, really useful.
What is also useful is how many 8 freaking battle boars, dude. Holy crap.
That's a lot. But no more Flaming Weapons and only battle boars. There's only 1 hero in this army, as the Hippospis trying to charge in and deal with those Hersa. They do manage to do so very, very nicely, but Theseus is back out. Will the Mythians be able to clean up all of this army or not is the big question, because those human units in the back, not that many of them. It looks like it doesn't matter, as Magic's just got too much mythology behind him right now.
Magic is maximizing the mythology, man. World's Edge would be so proud. So proud. This is ridiculous. He's playing Mythodia here. Are you kidding me?
Another fantastic custom game.
Yeah. Holy crap. Can the militia save him? They're getting out of dodge, man. All those battle boars. Holy crap! Wow.
Yeah, and now Magic's
Yeah,
back.
talk about age of mythology.
This is Age of Mythology.
This game embodies age of mythology.
Yeah, and now Magic can just come back, claim the town center yet again, and say, "Now what? What's next, Kvoth? I pushed you back off of Hunt. There's no Hunt remaining. There's barely any farms in the main base, so you've got to do a farm transition to get to the next age. Magic's going to have all the boars in the center of the map, and he's going to have everything cooking moving forward. He's probably even going to hit the
Yo, he's cooking those vills on the bottom side, Boit. Check that out.
They can't run. Their legs are too small. The berserks, they're running quick, and the axes are too sharp.
Oh, they're carrying those giant stakes, man, back home. Speaking of... Ooh, nice. And, you know, back on the front, though.
In classic Kvoth fashion, he's a fighter. Manages to deny that town center there and get a raid at the top here. A couple of villages for Magic going to go down.
What a cool game here, Boit. Both players fighting for the center here, but again, here come those battle boars, man. That is so messed up. This is ridiculous, dude. Even, I know, like, Poseidon... Greek struggles against Mythianus, right? Yeah. But this is ridiculous. Battle boars are pretty freaking strong. But 8 of them?
Yep. But behind this, we do see Hephaestus. And you do have to remember there wasn't just that one gold mine at the back there for Kvoth. He's still got another gold mine over here. He's got farms coming up. I didn't think he was going to hit that mythic age anytime soon here, but he showed me. Maybe he's bought it out. I don't know. I don't know how he got the 1,000 food, but only 5 villages on food at that point. But nonetheless, he's managed to get there, which does mean he unlocks Polyphemus, which should be a big help against these battle boars. But behind this, we're also seeing Magic going hell. And that means Fire Giant, Nidhogg, and that really, really, really strong tech in Granite Blood.
Super strong Mythianus, man. And, I mean, how much Magic only has 36 favor in the bank right now.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's gonna take him some time to actually bank some up and use all of that favor, but still, you know, with he's pushing in, so that favor's coming in quickly, man. Oh, holy smokes.
Oh, this is the town center that has it's not the town center going to the mythic. Oh no, I got a freeze here. Can I pull up your stream?
Yeah, I'm still going, man. I'm still going, and we have a ceasefire. Kvoth is feeling the burn on that on that gold mine. Dude, okay, so let's see. How many seconds? Hell's coming in what, 20 seconds or so. Hephaestus is just about there as well. Here's the thing, Boit. Hephaestus can be a power spike. Can be a power spike if you have prepared yourself to get all of those armory upgrades ASAP. Bust him through. He's already got full copper. Anyways, you can make it into a type of power spike if you have multiple armories and everything. I don't know if he's, like... Magic is right in his face, so he's going to need to spike pretty hard in order to survive here.
He's going to have to spike very, very hard here. As the Nidhogg comes through, the battle boar are coming in. I'm apologizing for the current ad on the screen. I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know how.
Ah! You missed the Nidhogg.
No, the Nidhogg's
burning everything. Oh my god, the carnage, Boit, you're missing everything, but seriously, you're missing everything. Whoa! Wow, I hope the ad ended, honestly,
it's just a mounting Dream TV will mount TV. That's all. It's great advertising for Prime here. Apologies, guys, but I mean, you caught it. You saw the action on the screen in 1080p, right? That's perfect.
Hey, here's your action shot. Man. Oh, Nidhogg just burning everything. Oh, mama.
There we go. Well, a solid win there for Magic. He's going to move forward 2-1 in this best of 5. One win away from moving on to the finals here, Maiden. This game was in the balance, but Magic was able to pull it back in classic Magic fashion.
Battle boars. Battle boars for the win.
That's right.
Simple as that. I can't believe Man, when Kvoth was pushing forward, he had the fortress out. He had heavy hippospis. Magic didn't have squat in terms of counter infantry. Taking the bat, just losing his town centers and everything. I can't believe how quickly Magic turned that around. Dropped all those longhouses. Took a miraculous fight. Flaming weapons ended up good for him. Got all those battle boars out, and then after that it was just GG. I thought he was complete toast. Losing, I've been in that position plenty of times. Losing your town centers like that, not having your production buildings up, I thought it was complete toast.
Yeah, it was a scary situation to be in for sure. But Maiden, we're going to be moving into the next map. It's on Giza. It's all happening here. I'm sure the players are already raring to go. They want to get these games on the way. So let's check out this next map and see what's happening. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in the left side of the map, in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is Kvoth. In the right-hand side of the map, currently on match point to move on to the finals. Playing as Freyr, and his name is Magic. The map is Giza Maiden. We see a relatively open gold mine here for Magic. Should we be concerned?
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, this is what I'm talking about. By all means. I mean, there's forward zebras, forward gold. I don't know. Maybe he can do some miraculous, like drop his Asgardian Bastion Hill Fort and secure all of that in one go. That would be greedy and a little bit miraculous. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know. I've played a fair amount of Freyr. I don't play a whole lot these days, but when I play, I like Freyr. Got to get that golden bursty action going. But still, with just everything so far forward, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know why he chose Freyr on Midgard. I don't know why he's choosing Freyr here. I don't get it, so don't ask me.
I guess you're kind of onto something here. Magic has access to picking, because if he loses this game, he gets to pick the next map, right? So he's got access to pick Kolauga or Midgard. And he's basically going to be expecting Hades to be on either one of those. So effectively, the Freyr pick here is just him saying, I prefer to play Zeus on whatever map I pick last, whether that's Midgard or Kolauga, rather than pick Freyr against Hades on Midgard or Kolauga, because that's the last two maps in his pool. But that doesn't mean that Freyr can't win this matchup. I mean, we've seen players like Soup really, really pushing what's possible with this god. I've seen him find ridiculous positions, which I just weren't, it wasn't even, I didn't even expect it to be possible. He gets himself past really, really difficult timing attacks and all the other good stuff with this god. And I'm sure that Magic is kind of aware of all of that, all the stuff that's possible there as well. So, I mean, we'll see what's going to happen, but Maiden, it's happening. Prometheus is on the way.
Prometheus. Wow, okay. Well, does that necessarily mean Promethean spam, however? You know, what else is he going to use? What else is he going to use Prometheus for, aside from that?
There's always that theft of fire angle in the back of your mind, right? Like, just play kind of a normal Atlantean game, but every 30 seconds, just drop another Valor down onto a citizen, grab theft of fire. You might need a couple. Okay, we're seeing town center. So it probably could be that theft of fire angle. He's moving. He's definitely moving out to this town center, right? He's got the resources coming through. So, yeah, lots of Valors. He doesn't have any extra oracles now, but he can just get one or two later, and that's going to give him enough favor to just use these on cooldown for at least up to 10, 15, maybe 10 Valors or something. before they start getting a little bit too expensive. Then Theft of Fire comes in, you get a huge economic boost on those hero villages, on the hero citizens. But then you're going into a macro game against Freyr. And that is kind of not where you want to be, in a way. But what is where you want to be is your opponent not knowing what you're doing. So this might just be a little bit off meta, so to speak. So it might catch Magic out. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, speaking of eco play, second, like you said, second town center coming in. Not the best TC though on this map. This is actually the first time I've seen this. Giza typically has 2 rhinos on your exterior centers. For some reason, this one this one only has 1 rhino per exterior town center. So a little bit of a bummer. Usually you got the double rhino to that food income.
I'm not sure what the percent chance is, but yeah, it's definitely a possible spawn. So you can be happy or be kind of happy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's. I mean, he's definitely only kind of happy because aside from that rhino, like that town center doesn't give a heck of a whole lot, honestly, resource wise.
I mean, one thing that he can do, and this is the big advantage of playing Oranos, is if you've got a really nice resource-rich area, you can just drop a sky passage on this position, and then you can drop a sky passage elsewhere, and then you're there and you're happy. So it's not the end of the world, but it's not obviously not the. It's not all happiness for Kvoth right now, but Magic, he hasn't reacted to this town center. He doesn't know Kvoth's got it. He's not going for a second age. He's not going for it. He's just playing safe defensively. He's got his armor up. He's getting armor upgrades. Yes, they're cheap. He's getting himself units out as well, throwing Axeman Herso. He's about to spot this town center already through 6 minutes into the game. As he notices it, he runs away and he goes, all right, I know what I need to do. But what is that?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What does he need to do here? Hey, I know what he needs to do. Maybe this gives him... I was at the very beginning when I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. Maybe this is the... He did go up through Ullr, so he does get the Asgardian Bastion. Yep, this is exactly what I was going to say. Maybe this is his opportunity. He sees the town center. He knows Oranos is going to go a little bit... take a little bit more time to get the military going. Now's the time to get that forward hill fort down. Yeah, he's just rushing it up.
Yeah, you get the hill fort, you get the gold mine, you get the Huskarl as well, which... While I know they're not the best of units, they're really, really tanky against these Terma, because the Terma basically do no damage. So basically no damage, minus 50%, minus 60% is even more no damage. And they don't have any bonus versus infantry, unlike, say, Toxotes or Chariots, which do. So they are really, really effective against Terma. If they can get onto them. If
they can reach the Terma,
they can get onto
Mr. Boit.
They do move at 5 speed. They're not that slow. 5 speed? I think it's 5 speed. 4.8 speed? 5 speed? Not sure.
Yeah, they're not super slow. But still, eventually, once the army numbers start growing, it can be pretty difficult to actually get them back in there, back onto the Terma number. But that, again, that assumes that Kvoth is going to have a lot of Terma numbers, in all sincerity. Yeah. You should expect the Asgardian Bastion coming down, or the hill fort coming down, and that being a possibility.
Well, the one thing that I'm looking at right now is, for some reason, Kvoth is farming on his second town center, and he's got himself 20 goats. Magic has got himself 8 goats, but 20 goats. You can always move those over to your second town center if you like.
Or just sky passage back and eat them from the second town center, right?
And now Magic's just going to grab that second town center himself. He will be behind slightly on villages, but do you really care if you're behind on civilian units with Freyr? Like, you get all those resources back by just getting upgrades. Like, you're getting, like, the income is generally it doesn't really pay itself off. Having an economic advantage.
That's a good point.
Maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's how I feel when I'm playing Freyr.
Well, aside from the eco Boit, remember, like, I was ultra skeptical about Freyr actually being able to secure a second gold mine, right? But now that Magic is getting the second town center, okay, I almost would have wanted, or would have thought he would have stayed 1 TC and go for his own gold starve against Kvoth, actually. he can still pull that off, obviously. But, you know, again, just trying to match the 2-2 town centers, I don't know if that's necessarily the play because he's so sure, you know, the cheaper upgrades, everything that you already mentioned, but he's so much later to that second town center compared to Kvoth.
Yeah, and on top of that, the one thing I'm scared about right now is
Boit.
there's 8 Prometheans out. Alluvial clay is coming through. Magic? How many Ursa do you have?
Yo.
Can't select
Yo.
them, I suck. 8 Ursa. So there's enough Ursa to deal with the Prometheans, but what about everything else?
Yeah, sure.
Now, oh! Gloom Bursty coming in. I think Kvoth can just run. Like, he doesn't have to hang. Just get out of there. Gloom Bursty off the table. No worries. Sure, a couple of terminal 4, but this is a big gob. This pig is just going to get... He ran so fast, so hard. The torch was bright. The light was bright, but it burns very quickly.
Oh, the poor guy. That was a little bit preemptive, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah, that's a little bit awkward. This is kind of what I'm talking about right here, Boyd. Imagine if there was, you know, a heroic age coming in, if there was just that much more army coming in at the same time, in order to try and kick him off of this gold mine here. I know the gold is not done in Kvoth's base, but this is the idea here that, hey, if you're going to take 2 TCs, screw it. With exposed resources, I'll go 1 TC, and I'll just smash in the heroic age with a good heroic timing. I'm a little bit surprised that he's trying nice shockwave, trying to go for that 2 TC play himself.
And the engagement coming back in here, the population differential is heavily favoring Magic at the moment, but those Promethean, they do pack a punch. There's still plenty of Ursa remaining. It looks like, as the Promethean going straight up to those throwing action, it kind of looks like all of the Murmillo, which Kvoth made, have been killed off, as Kvoth has to retreat back yet again. He needs to get some frontline out, or maybe some Caraballister to deal with those Ursa, because they are carrying him past this Promethean span.
Wow. I think that was a bad fight for Kvoth. By all means, he's got a pretty big economy.
Yeah.
But that was bad.
Yeah, the first fight, I actually don't think the first fight was a bad idea. But he didn't shockwave the throwing axeman. And the Promethean didn't go onto the throwing axeman. That's where they need to be. Because then they tank the throwing axeman, they kill off the throwing axeman, and then your Murmillo are able to take down those Ursa HP to allow the Promethean to carry through the rest of the fight. But... you know, Kvoth's not out of this. He's still got a very, very healthy villager advantage at the moment. And, you know, we talk about how important or unimportant the villager differential is at this point. Well, if you're staying in the classical age, you don't get those cheaper upgrades because you don't have any technologies to buy at this point. If you just go into a spam war, it doesn't quite work out that way. And Kvoth behind this, he's going through Hyperion.
Exactly. Gonna be, honestly, that might, plus the Sky Passage you see on the bottom side, he's getting gold down there with the Sky Passage. So between Chaos, allowing him probably to survive or win another fight, plus Sky Passage abuse, maybe Magic is not actually going to be able to pull off the Gold Starve after all. Maybe ultimately the TC play maybe that's the better way ultimately, to make sure he's got his own strong economy as well, not expecting to actually pull off that gold. Maybe, I don't know, am I a bit overzealous trying to go for gold stars too?
Maybe. But we'd also see Aegir. Pretty cute. He's got a ways to go to get the gold up. No gold in the bank. But, you know, Kvoth does have to make something happen. I mean, you just have to. You can't sit back and just wait and then hope you win, because you're not going to. Freyr gets too strong. He's so good in the late game. It doesn't matter how good your late game is. Well, maybe it does. Maybe you can win if you play well enough. But you're playing against Magic, one of the best late game players of all time. Plus, he's on Freyr. So, what angles do you really have here at this point? He's got to attack.
I agree, man. I agree. And he's thinking, okay, I'm gonna attack. Yes, sir. I'm on my way. Having said that, we have 4 upgraded Draugr, man, which is really nice. That's even a second temple forward. He's got 100 favor in the bank, a whole bunch of favor.
Huge chaos onto this position here, Maiden. all the units sitting idle. He's also got another shockwave to use after that. Chaos. The army is going to get so much free damage to kick the start of this fight off, but he is fighting underneath this hill fort as well. The Draugr are out en masse, and none of them have really fallen to kick this game or this fight off here. This is looking absolutely huge for Kvoth, but Magic, he is pulling the magic out, and he is going to be able to hold here.
What? Did the Herseer just carry that? What? How did he end up taking that fight? Are you kidding me? Chaos plus a huge shockwave? Wow.
I think that was just the... I want to go ahead out on a limb and just say that was Draugr. Like, these things, they shoot through and do bone... Like they don't drop off any damage. If you hit a whole bunch of units, you get so much damage. There's the Tempest coming down. The fighting is not over here as Kvoth attempting to retreat out of here, but he is so slowed down at this point as the Ark is getting chased down, and, well, I mean, Kvoth is still alive. Okay, he's out. He's still got an army. Magic's... His Tempest is gone, so no more kind of power spikes for him until Inferno. But now he's in the heroic age, and the army is getting stronger and stronger as Magic's going to start raiding.
Plus, dude, what I really like from Magic's side, the forward temple, not only for the Draugr, which just saved his life, now he's got 5 of them out. Also, he's getting the Bear Greasy upgrade, or whatever the upgrade is called. Wait.
Granite Maw.
What is it called? Granite Maw, yeah. And so he's got the forward temple in order to... It might go down right now, but those rock giants, especially once you upgrade those bad boys to Bear Grills, those things just are such tanks. It's insane. So with a good chunk of thrown axemen behind that, that turns into such a killer army composition. I think that Kvoth needs to be... I don't know. He needs to be very aware of of how to counter that army comp.
Yeah, and Kvoth at the moment is grabbing that third town center at the top, but so too is Magic grabbing the town center at the bottom. So it looks like we're going to have somewhat of an extended heroic age fight. Unlike Kronos and Gaia, there's no Implode, but there is still that Tartarian Gate to be scared of. There's also Helios, which we haven't seen a whole lot of in the recent kind of weeks, months. Maybe a couple of times we've seen it. I think it's really strong still, because you can teleport around and just be beating up your opponent as they're trying to chase you. So you can use basically an infinite amount of vortexes that are really, really cheap. Plus you can then get the sky passages in to help you out even more with the teleporting around the map. Nonetheless, Tartarian Gate can be a big next power spike for Kvoth in this game, as he's got a lot of resources in the bank right now.
Indeed. In fact, I expect to see... Do we have a palace anywhere on the map? I expect to see Mythic coming in soon.
There's a palace on the way to Kvoth, but he doesn't have one up just yet. Magic loses his town center. Doesn't want to take this fight. He's still waiting on his upgrades. This is both the strength and the weakness of this god Freyr. You just have to wait it out. And Kvoth takes the advantage there, knocks the town center down, and Hecate is the god of choice.
Here we go. She's coming in. Yeah, I think that this is the tricky thing, Boit, that yes, the cheaper upgrades are super awesome for Freyr, but at the same time, there's a delay. There's like a lag on your power spike, so it takes time for all those upgrades to come in, especially once you get Mythic. By the way, speaking of Mythic, hello, Ark is popping out of the Sky Passage.
Gotta be careful though, if you get taunted by the Bergreasy, it's all over for you. Kvoth is literally all over the map right now with these Sky Passages. You can't really stop him at this point, unless you can... The only way to stop Sky Passages, the only way to stop Oranos is walls. That way the citizen won't get through, and you're not going to have to deal with the Sky Passages just popping up all across the map.
The map is so darn open, man. How in the world are you going to wall all of it, or enough to really, truly prevent all those Sky Passages from actually happening? Ay, ay, ay.
At the moment here, Kvoth has got himself a huge amount of hero units. He's charging in onto this position as the Bergreasy are going to get a lot of taunting action in here. Shockwave going to get used yet again onto this position as the Herseer are going to get cleaned up. They're really not going to be that much of a help in this fight. The population for Kvoth is sitting very, very strong as the army of Magic seems to be dwindling here. Hersa on the back going down. The army has to retreat back. The Draugr's going down. There's one Bergrizi remaining here. And it looks to me like Kvoth has found the unit composition. He's found the timing here as Magic is struggling to hold.
Oh, yeah. That was such a big swing right there. Losing 3, now 4 of those Bergrizi. That is so huge. In fact, those snipers can just sit, knock him off of gold as well. The gold situation is sketchy for Magic as well. Plus Heck Gate coming in as well, or the Tartarian Gate rather.
This is definitely a legacy reaction here. Huge amount of villagers going onto this Tartarian Gate. They might be able to take it out, but they're gonna die very quickly here, Maiden.
Yeah. Vills aren't tanky no more, not in Retold, not without Rosk into the Rhino. He's going for it, though. He's going for it. It looks like he's probably going to pick it off, but he's going to lose a whole bunch of Vills.
Yep.
As a sacrifice. That didn't go too bad, boy.
It didn't. I think Magic, I don't know if Magic's held here just yet. He's still in a lot of pain as the villagers on this gold mine at the top get spotted. And Kvoth going to be retreating away immediately there. But I don't think he's held just yet. That gold mine is going to get pushed off as well. We've got raiding cavalry moving down to the bottom side of the map. The villagers, they've got one gold mine remaining with 1,600 gold left in it. And Magic has to stick it out in this heroic age to try and get himself back up to full population and deal with full champion Atlantean army probably going on to be 4 town center to boot.
By all means, you know, the town center advantage is not as strong compared to back in the old days, but still, it's still not a comfortable position to be in. So I don't know what Magic can do to come back into this, but that was a big swing. That shockwave was big. That was a really big swing. Last, what, 3 minutes, 2 minutes?
Yeah. But Magic's got himself back up somewhat of an army. He's only 30 population behind here. And now he's got the Herdman in his army to deal with those Contarius. The problem is he's got no answer for the Arcus, which is going to be getting pot shots from far here. A whole bunch of raiding cavalry are going to come through for Magic, but I think it's going to be too little, too late as the army of Magic... No, I can't call it at this point. Managing to find himself a really, really nice concave as all the front line going to be falling, and that's going to allow Magic to push back. He's somehow managing to keep himself alive in this game, mate.
Wow, that was, honestly, that was, I mean, lots of death by all means, but Kvoth is in an advantageous position, so it's maybe worth it for him to just, you know, continue the fight, make sure Magic stays in the heroic age. But at the same time, he can't kamikaze too hard. Because there's, you know, it is Magic after all, lots of building spam. He can, ooh, a little raid up top. Anyways, he can't kamikaze too hard like that. Still has to be really careful.
Yeah, and now he's got the Fire Siphon. He's going to be able to clean up that Asgardian Hill Fort in the center. And this does open up the map a little bit more. A bit more challenging to hold these positions. Magic moving up to the top. Gold mine here, cleaning up that Sky Passage, but still going to be a bit of a challenge. Herdman coming through to try and deal with those Contarius. The Contarius are out of there. Population differential on the military side is equal here, Maiden. It's just the villages that Magic is lacking, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I don't think that it matters for Magic at this point. It's all about the military. It's all about staying alive here.
Sure. Well, there's position as well. It's not just eco, it's not just numbers, it's positioning as well, and the army positioning looks weird here, Boit, taking a fight in the defensive buildings of Magic. I'm telling you, Kvoth can't continue kamikazing his army like this too hard. He's getting cleaned up here.
Yeah, this Freyr army is just, it's looking unbeatable. Like, Kvoth has got... is the answer just to get out Fanatics now? He's trying. He's got himself only 2 pallets. That's not enough to get any significant amounts of these bad boys out. He needs some sort of answer for the Bergrizi. Now, I think there is an answer to this. The Kvoth's got in the Lampede. He doesn't have the favor to produce them. You can kind of chaos the Bergrizi at the start of the fight to use that special ability on your opponent rather than on you. I think that's how it works.
I guess that's an option, I guess, but at the same time, it's maybe, like, what is happening here? Magic is pushing back so well. The Herdmen are really complicating these fights for Kvoth because of the Contarius.
Yeah,
maybe the better eco
now
is going to lead him.
Magic's pushed too far. He's pushed too hard. He had such a good fight before. He had the confidence there, but looks like the army is completely fallen. And now Kvoth, rightly so, can kind of just leave this spot and go after what matters most, which is gold.
Well, map control, man. So sure, the eco numbers, yeehaw, but the town center numbers are slightly in the advantage. In the advantage? That doesn't make sense. What am I trying to say here, Boit? He has the advantage, the TC advantage, rather. Plus also a map control advantage, I think Kvoth has. No gold mine, no safe gold mine for Magic, so map control, man.
Indeed. Raiding Cavalry do manage to get a couple of citizen raids onto the top, so a bit of a revenge thing that... Wait, did he convert? I can't tell if Magic... He did. He converted villages to berserks. Because why not? Like, it doesn't matter. The villagers at this point are producing villages out of the town center. That's just berserks to be built. You know, you don't need villagers here anymore. He's almost going to be able to go to the Mythic Age, and this is getting very, very scary for Kvoth. You see the score lead? This is just all eco. It's not. Oh, I saw for a second he went hell. He decides it's better to go Vidar here. You're not going Vidar for. I mean, obviously Inferno looks sick. But you're not going Vidar for Inferno.
Yeah.
You're going Vidar for the technologies that comes with this god. But Magic is still on the cusp of winning and losing this game, as the Raiding Cavalry need to get onto that Arcus ball that's very, very strong at this point, as all those Raiding Cavalry on the front getting pretty murdered pretty quickly there. Population for Kvoth is still sitting incredibly solid, as Magic down to 150.
And dude, he's at half of the military population numbers overall. So, you know, town center is he taking his Kvoth? Yeah, Kvoth is sending some citizens to take that TC. So just more map control for Kvoth, more TC control for Kvoth. I don't know if Magic is Vidar, is Inferno, and I mean the upgrades take forever to research. So I don't know if Inferno is going to be a big enough explosion to keep Magic in this game. I want the explosion though. Come on, 60 more seconds. Stay alive, Magic. Give it to me.
He's pushed off gold. He can't really sell for gold anymore either. It's at 24 gold per 100 food or wood. So there's nothing there. He needs a gold mine somewhere on the map, but Kvoth is everywhere. There's one gold mine in the center, which you could sneak for a second or two, but I feel like Magic at this point, he effectively needs an Inferno, which kills off the entirety of that Arcus ball and then some to survive here.
And somehow gives him control of a gold mine, and somehow, you know, picks off a bunch of military production buildings, and, you know, that Inferno has a big job ahead of it.
Yeah, but it's about to come through. The Raiding Cavalry are going to come in an attempt to prevent the retreat part. The Ballistics is through, as they're going to get some damage in. The Inferno coming in. Kvoth retreating away. And is he going to hit it? He does manage to get a big hit, but none of the units die. They're all just low HP now. The Fafnir is through as well. Village is going to attempt to move back up onto the gold mine, but Kvoth is completely fine. He's at 260 population, Maiden.
Wow, compared to 138 on the side of Magic, man. So not only does he have a lot of pop, there's a giant pop difference as a bunch of Arcus go down. Oh boy. Well, the Inferno took out a bunch of units and he's back on a gold mine, so that's something, Boit. But it's only a little something. I don't know if it's enough.
Will get some value. No, never mind. The Hero Contarius are in that. That's going to be 300 gold in the back pocket for Kvoth there. And Magic taps out, Maiden. And we have ourselves a game 5.
Wow. Nice. We also had an Inferno, so yeehaw. Icing on the cake, everybody. I'll take it. Cherry on top, icing on the cake, everything, all around.
I mean, what a game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think both players, right, in the middle part of the game, when, you know, okay, sure, Kvoth had sky passages on the gold mines. Okay, fine, you know, the players are getting their town centers. Okay, starting to establish themselves in the middle. I think that there was a big opportunity for Magic to I don't know. I guess maybe not get a gold star or anything with because of the sky passages, but establish himself a little bit more solidly. There was a couple of fights there where he kind of overextended
Yeah.
and he got punished for it. And
Yeah.
then Kvoth overextended and they
Yeah.
got punished for it. So they just kept throwing the game back and forth.
Exactly. It's almost as if the better call was when Magic took that fight, which he won, where Kvoth kind of, I was like, wait, you can't even kill the Norse army, right? And Magic was like, he can't even kill the Norse army. So he walked forward after that, and then he lost the next fight underneath the palace. If he just sat back and then went for the Mythic Age at that point, I think that was his moment. Part of the Freyr game plan is just sit around and do nothing. You have to remember that. Nonetheless, man, we've got a game 5 coming. I'm excited. Let's check out what god it's going to be on what map. And here we are, maiden. Semi-finals, game 5. Magic in the top of the map playing... No, Kvoth in the top of the map playing as Hades. Magic at the bottom of the map playing as Zeus. Kolauga the map. And the Greek mirror is back.
Indeed. Is the conversation going to go exactly the same as it did before? Expecting the expected hoplite play, eventually some talks play, Hades, going from there. I don't know if actually, Boit. Hey, you wanna? Speaking of, going off meta, Vortex. That's a name we haven't thrown around for a couple of weeks, eh? Vortex really liked playing this map, and he would end up go Hades, I think, and he would go for the instant middle town center. And he wouldn't fight too hard for fish, but he would rather prioritize the 2TC play, villagers, etc., etc. Typically, and now that I look at the minimap, this is almost certainly not going to be by either player. Usually the town centers are a little bit more central, a little bit closer to the gold mines. So I think that was part of the idea, is that you take that immediate middle TC to map control and help control the gold mine as well. Now that I'm looking at the settlements, probably not going to see that, but there is some variety at the high level that we can see on Kerlauger. It's not all just going to be the same thing every time.
Indeed. And I love that about this game. And I'll tell you what I would love even more. We saw Hermes here from Magic.
Oh, what?
What if we saw, just for a change, Hermes Ares?
Wait. I mean, like, if Kvoth isn't going to do it, and he did it against you, there's no way. There's no way.
I know there's no way.
If we say
there could be a way.
If we say it enough, then there could be a way. If we say it enough, maybe it's actually going to happen. We're going to jinx it.
The thing is, I don't really know what goes on in these practice sessions that these guys do, but I definitely know that it seems like top players can get stuck trying to perfect a strategy they think is perfect and end up missing out on a whole bunch of different angles. And I think this is why Soup had so much success in the second qualifier, because he came in with a whole bunch of kind of, I wouldn't necessarily call them new ideas, but definitely ideas that I don't think other top players were going for, and caught everyone by surprise and found a lot of really, really nice wins. So if it's the case that the Centaur doesn't work, maybe it's also the case that maybe you don't need to go Zeus here. Maybe you can go for Isis here. Maybe you can go for Gaia or Oranos here. Maybe you could go for Loki here. There's a lot of different options for sure.
I agree, and I mean, on a simple level, like if you think about what Zeus can do, the hoplite pressure and on. Eventually, you can do similar things with Kronos, for example. Kronos was a popular pick on Anatolia. This is not exactly like Anatolia, but it plays kind of like Anatolia, right? You can do. We've seen Heimdall have a little bit of success with some, a really aggressive play on one side of water, for example. So yeah, absolutely. I think there's plenty of options that need to be explored, but it seems like Zeus seems like the simple, strong answer solution here, the pick, I guess. And it seems like Hades is a good counter pick to that. And so I think that's what players are kind of getting stuck into, rather than wanting to, really diversify. They're kind of getting stuck into that, well, he's going Zeus, I have to go Hades, that type of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have seen Kvoth win with... I want to say Kvoth won with both Hades and Zeus, but maybe I'm misremembering. It's been a long day thus far. So but we definitely have seen a Hades win on this map and a Zeus win on this map. So it's not a simple one way or the other. A lot of this is skill based. A lot of this is going to just be who executes better. Magic is already in the classical age. He's already getting up a second Minotaur. He's already ready to put some pressure on to Kvoth's fishing situation over here, as Vaults of Erebus is going to be a quick technology for Kvoth to snatch up here as he immediately garrisons. All things are safe, but he will be getting just a little bit of food denial.
Do you think that fishing docks with garrison ships, should they shoot the land unit?
Maiden, you and I both know docks shouldn't shoot. Fishing ships don't have any arrows. They shouldn't shoot. They just...
I know, Boit, but you've changed, man, Mr. Vanilla Boy. You've changed. So what's your opinion?
There's a time where, if you go through the history of it, right? Like, on Legacy, all you would do is just spam archer ships. And often it could be the person who just loses one archer ship early due to a little bit of mismicro, loses the game. And that was obviously not very, very good. Titans keeps that kind of system. So we see a Minotaur trying to sneak through here, but there's already some heroes to defend this. Titans kind of keeps that system going, but then says, you know what, we're going to give a little bit of defender's advantage, so that we don't just lose straight away, which I did like, and it kind of opened up all the strategy. But with Retold, with all the different ships, how strong the docks feel in terms of HP on the water, I could definitely see taking the shooting docks away, and it might work without, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a very different game, so you can definitely have some different stuff here.
Yeah, for sure. That's fair. That's fair. Well, speaking of different stuff, we're not really going to have different stuff in this game, although the slight difference is that Hades player Kvoth, as Hades, is going for hoplites and minotaurs, not necessarily a minotaur spam, but he finally does have a couple of archery ranges out, actually, but he's trying to match the hoplites with hoplites action down on this bottom side. A bit peculiar in my opinion, but okay, the talks are finally coming up.
Yeah, I mean, both players here have got wood in the back. We're seeing Minotaurs getting sniped down, all the good stuff. But neither player... Kvoth does have 2 archery ranges, so that's going to be a big help. As the heroes are going to get sniped down, Magic kind of falling asleep on that one. Going to be sniping the dock on this side, though. Will he get it? Yes, he will. But can he win the fight? I don't know if he can.
Well, he does have the Minotaur there, but Achilles and Ajax are there, plus... Resto, okay.
Still not enough to keep the Minotaur alive.
Yeah. Goes. Plus, there's production buildings right next to Kvoth, right next to this battle for Kvoth, so he should ultimately win it, since those are archers coming out, right? Right?
A couple of toxic, a couple of archers coming in. There's also like big trireme coming forward here for Magic. I've talked about this a little bit. I don't think you build trireme here. You build hammer ships, because the problem with the trireme is that the shot misses. You shoot 3 arrows and 2 of them miss off to the side, whereas the Pentaconta or the hammer ship is just dealing straight 20 hack damage, which is a lot for this stage of the game.
Sure. Interesting. And by the way, up on the top side, all quiet on the northern front up there, the western.
Just,
All the
just
action down on
burning
that bottom
sails. We're just
side.
going to sit here burning.
Yeah, okay. Maybe a little bit of action, but nothing too good. Actually, like, now that I say that, of course Magic decides to move up onto that top side.
Magic just, I don't know if he was paying, I don't think he was paying attention. I think Kvoth has just done the sneaky. He does the sneaky so well. He got spotted there, but I don't know if Magic spotted it. Villagers are off onto the left gold mine. Just, oh, no. He's going to hide them. I think he thinks he's been spotted. Doesn't want to give it away. Just hide. Just hide. It's going to be fine. Shh.
Of course he's got to sneak the gold villagers over there. That's part of his MO for every single, every single game that he plays. All right. Well, okay. That is a denied fish eco up on that top side, right?
Yeah, all the fish is taken out. That's a pretty big win for Magic, but he has invested a lot into this classical age, and as such, he's slightly behind on the Dionysus. Ever so slightly. Not a big deal.
Well, but Aphrodite on the one side, so no Apollo, none of the fun underworld shenanigans like we saw Kvoth in the previous game, and another game from last week, again, which was very exciting. A little bummed about that, but whatever. Probably Boit with the sneak over on that gold side, that left side. I like it, but at the same time, the gold, the entire front side of Kvoth's base is so open. Dionysus is going to be big, with or without Curse.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that I think Greek players and just in general Age of Mythology players at the top level started getting really good at is scouting, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Magic sending a Pegasus up to the top gold mine there, onto the gold mines around the map at some point here when he's ready to start going for any sort of gold stuff. At the moment, he's just going to be utilizing those hoplites and running around the map and having fun with them.
Yeah, sure. Sure, and there's another group of hoplites hitting the gold mine as well. So getting a couple of nice, delicious little Vil picks there. Odysseus Dionysus comes in.
You gotta be really, really careful with the Skylar. Giving the Skylar damage means the head comes in. If you get 2 heads on a Skylar, kind of doesn't even matter if he's down 100 HP. Curse coming down onto this position. Magic gonna have to retreat away. He's still got the military advantage ever so slightly, but half of his units are on the front here trying to take on heavy Capacifists.
Indeed. Have a little bit of a chaotic fight here. Dude, I think Magic is so good at, he always, there's a big fight, and he always has a little group of units checking gold mines.
Bit of a high five
Just
action.
passing. High five, I like that. Well, okay, it looks like he's gearing up for a bronze attack here, man.
Yeah, generally you want to kind of wait for full population on the bronze, because that's max value. But if you catch your opponent sleeping, you can get something happening a little bit earlier than that. But Magic at this side, he needs to come down and deal with this Skylar. The hoplites are going down there. The Heracles is not coming with him, but he will be able to come over here and deal with this pretty easily. Oh, 2 heads. 2 heads better than 1. Hoplite going to go down, but I think that might be about it. 1 hoplite for a Skylar. I'll take that trade.
Bad, although there's units getting traded, I guess you could say, in the center as well. Oof. It's maybe worthwhile to save his fish down on that bottom side, but still, those
crazy. He's going to drop that bronze down, pushing into the middle. I don't think he needed to, but now he does have the speed on the chase with those hoplites. So you can run, but for how long? Now, the one thing I want to throw out there, Maiden, for everyone else, if you're chasing, split your army, and I think we're seeing Magic kind of do that. Split your army into 2 so that there's going to be less bumping into him, especially when you've got Sarissa as well, as he charges forward. He sees no villagers on this gold mine. His spider senses need to be tingling here. Kvoth's getting gold elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. He's just gung-ho into the base for now, though, so maybe we'll get there eventually, but for now, he's Gotta find some kind of like actually that bronze was kind of wasted. I agree with you that he didn't need to use it initially, and all he did was just run around the map in the middle of the map. He didn't really utilize it at all or get any value from it.
The one thing he did get, which this is something I've noticed that Mr. does as well, so it's just a very, very high level tactic, is you do something, you raid, you attack, and then you grab that town center behind it, so that your opponent is going to be distracted while you're grabbing it. So he's getting up a second town center. Kvoth's still on one town center. The hoplites coming around onto the back here. Magic, he's prepared, but a little bit of miscontrol, but he's going to now push forward as Kvoth going to have to retreat yet again. There's so many hoplites here. Kvoth going to get a lot of losses, I would say, on this spot. And a lot of snaring coming from Magic with some good micro there.
And Sarissa. He's got that extra range on those hoplites with Sarissa.
It's such a good technology. It helps so much with just getting the hoplites to start attacking. That's the big deal. Another curse though for Kvoth. Restoration coming through as a response from Magic though. Who does this favor? It's looking like Magic's still in the population lead for the time being. More units coming through, but can Kvoth hold or not? It's got the Shades of Hades coming through from behind. That's going to be a big help. There is an Odysseus in, which will be able to clean those up nice and quick.
Indeed, but still, he's kind of distracted. There he goes. They definitely got their value, man, as acting as that meat shield. He's like, Magic's taking this fight right around all these production buildings of Kvoth. So it's looking like it's a decent fight for him, but what?
The game's over. Kvoth is too far behind, he thinks. He's at 87 pop. He's behind on villagers. He's down a town center, and he says, it's too late for me. I'm calling it. I'm going to sleep. GG. Well played by Magic, as he is now heading to the finals, Maiden.
You know what? Now that you look at like the population, he doesn't have any more fish. Kvoth lost his fifth. Plus, he's getting pushed off this gold mine as well. So, man, I thought that fight would go a little bit better with the strong Hades talks right on his production buildings. But he disagrees, and, you know, man, have it.
I mean, man, this game...
Kvoth going down to...
This game just came down to villager kills. Look at the statistics. Look at the villagers killed. 29-0. Kvoth couldn't get a single villager kill.
Is that villagers, or is that villagers and fishing ship?
I don't know. Can't tell you. But we're going to be moving on to the finals now. And let's reveal who we're going to be seeing here. Let's jump over to the bracket.